All right, everybody, you know what time it is. It is Wednesday, and we've got a big 2-hour show, and we're going to start that right now. Y'all ready? We can do 2 or 3 takes. Ready?
I'm Tom Clark.
I'm Bill Clark.
And you're watching the So Smokin' Fucking Gooder Show.
Say I'm Tom Clark. I'm Bill Clark with JC's Good Old Boys. All right, ready? Here we go. Ready? 3.
I'm Tom Clark.
I'm Bill Clark.
With JC's Good Old Boys barbecue team. And you're watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show.
Bam!
Hey everybody, Phil Breeden, owner and founder of LC Barbecue, and you're watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show.
This is Bill Purvis with Chicken Fried Barbecue, and you're watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show. Boom.
All righty, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Good evening, Gooder Gang. You know what time it is. It is 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, and you know where to be, and that is right here watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show. I am your host, Rob Arocha, and I'm coming to you from the Bullhorn headquarters in Cypress, Texas. Damn glad you have found us. However you found us, whether you're checking us out on Facebook or on YouTube, or some of you more and more are finding us over on Twitch, which is awesome. So glad to see that. We've got a great show lined up for you. great show. We got a bunch of champions on the show. We are going to roll out our special co-host here in just a second. And we've got champions of all over, including Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We're going to have Eddy Morales from the Pitfather BBQ. He's going to join us here in the first hour. And then we'll have, in the second hour, we've got 3 champions. We've got Chris Hatcher from Chat and Choo BBQ. We've got Justin West over at Hat Creek Q. And, of course, we got Brian King from Brass Monkey BBQ. So we got a jam-packed show for you tonight. I appreciate all of you tuning in. Thank you for doing so. The only thing that we ask of you guys is if you're watching on Facebook, please like us. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe and hit that bell button, guys. If that helps us spread the word. And if you're on Twitch, give us a follow. And if you do feel so inclined, please share this show. Gooder Gang, do your part. I appreciate each and every one of you guys checking us out. Speaking of supporters and checking us out, I'm going to give some shout outs to my Gooder Gang. Let's see who was first up tonight. It was weird. I saw somebody pop in earlier today and then he popped out. But I can't. I just got to read what's on the screen. Daddy Dutch BBQ back in the first spot. Carlos Calzada stepping in right behind him. My pits are burning over from YouTube. That's Kevin Hernandez. If you don't know, another world champion. We've got, let's see, Max Campuzano. What's up? How you doing, Max? Sons of Smoke. All right. Welcome in. Michael Sistruck, Jared McCrory. Hello. Ricky Gonzalez. What is up? Johnny Mags checking in over at YouTube. What's up, Johnny Mags? Who else we got here? Greg Minotti. Am I loud? I feel like I'm loud. Guys, let me know in the comments if I'm too loud right now. Steve Cumby. What's up, Steve? How are you? Judge Wep. Dwayne Turnbow. Dwayne, I need to talk to you, my man. This man, RGC, both 2 times in 1 contest. Dwayne Turnbow. Let's see who else we got here. Larry Vaughn. Hello. Sean Schrainer. What is up? Louis Gonzalez. DD BBQ. Hello. Brian Camp. Barbecue and Brews. That's right, buddy. That is right. What else do you want to be doing on a Wednesday night? Maybe prepping for a contest. T Squared. What is going on, my man? I haven't seen. Play the clip. I already played the clip, Phil Breeden. Tex Olson. Michael, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. If you don't mind mentioning McGregor Lions Club, April 14th and 16th. Doubleheader, and both are state championships. I don't mind. In fact, I just mentioned it right there. I read your comment. Let's see who else we got. Max is back. Ruth, sweet Ruth, how are you? All right. Am I getting towards the end? Mark Suarez, the soul snatcher himself. James Powell. What is up, buddy? Where'd you go? There you are. All right. Angel. Hello. Kristen Flores. Lisa. I found out this is not a fake person. She does exist. I saw her on the grounds at Rodeo Houston, or no, at BBQ Austin. All these rodeos are just kind of flinging together here. We got the Robert Leal. What is up? Hitman Barbecue. Jason White. Randall Johnson. Hello. And that's it. All right. We did it. We made through. Gooder Gang, thank you again. Thank you very much for supporting this show. We appreciate it. For those that don't know, and I said it last time on the show, but I'll just keep reminding people until it sinks in. Mr. Case Hahn has decided to retire from the So Smokin' Gooder show. So he is on to bigger and better things. Now he's going to spend time with his family. This does take a lot of commitment for those that don't know to put these shows on each and every week. It takes a lot of commitment, and he just didn't have time for it. And I appreciate it. And that the way he went about and stepped down. So that going forward, we are going to be rolling out the special co-host of the So Smokin' Gooder show. This isn't going to be somebody that y'all see all the time. It could be. We're going to have some regulars, but we're going to have people that we talk to throughout the country, and maybe some big name people. I've already got a big name person lined up. So, and our first one is a big name person. Doesn't get much hotter than this guy right now. I'm talking about his barbecue and his looks. I mean, the guy is just a sexy beast, and he's killing it right all over the barbecue scene here in Texas. I'm talking about the first special co-host of the So Smokin' Gooder show is none other than my man, Mr. Bill Purvis. Let me get his banner up. There it is. It says it. Special co-host Bill Purvis, Chicken Fried Barbecue, San Antonio, and BBQ Austin Grand Champion. What is up, my man, Bill? How are you, buddy?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. So yeah, it's been a good little run. So that's for sure.
A
So
good little run is an understatement. I talk to Bill regularly, pretty regularly, and he said, "I'm just getting lucky." I was like, "Well, Bill, yeah, you are. You're getting lucky, but you're also producing some good food, and that's what it takes. It takes great food. We said it on the show all the time. It takes great food to get you in that ballpark, and then you got to be very lucky on top of that. But man, you're killing it right now. You're doing so well. You hit the San Antonio Grand Champion here in late January, and then following that right here in the beginning of March with the BBQ Austin Grand Champion. How are you feeling about your cooks? I know we talked a little bit about that, but I'm not going to put words in your mouth. How are things going out there? Obviously going well because of the results, but how do you feel things are going?
yeah, I mean, I've talked to several people. Obviously, when you're winning, people want to talk to you a little more than maybe not when you're losing. But yeah, I just feel like it's kind of a lottery, and you got to cook good food to get into the lottery. But
There's
once you
a
get in there, it's anybody's turn, and we all kind of switch turns as far as whose turn it is to win each weekend. But I don't think there's a rub out there that ensures you're going to walk every time. There's not a sauce out there, an injection. None of it ensures that you're going to walk every time.
no.
So you got to cook it good. You got to make it tender, and hopefully you get if you can get 3 of those done right, then you get into the lottery. And how many people are going to get in the lottery? And there's always going to be at least 20 or 30 people in that lottery every week, especially these big ones, probably even more. But it's just like I said, you got to cook good food and you got to get really lucky. So
Well,
I think
I
Chris
said it.
Schaefer said you got to cook really, really good food and get really, really lucky at the bigger ones. So
Yeah, that's true. And
but I
you
felt
said
like my cook was average. It was an average cook. It just happened to hit the right tables, and I wasn't really disappointed in anything, but I wasn't crazy about any of it either. So
you said something at
just
Houston the other day when we were all getting ready to cook on Saturdays. Hey, it's just a bigger parking lot.
right.
I think that was you. That was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I
it's
posted that. Yeah,
and it's right. You just, like, don't make the moment too big and just go out and do your thing. You're definitely showing up on the big stages, and that's really cool. Somebody asked
right.
a question, Daddy Dutch, right there. He said, "Has anyone ever won San Antonio and Austin in the same, within a couple of months?" I don't know the answer to that, but I have a hard time believing it's happened.
Man, I don't know. I haven't been cooking that long to know. I mean, those contests have been going on for years. So yeah, I don't know, but it feels pretty special. So to earn 2 spots on Champions Road, I think I'm gonna ask them for a double wide spot. So bring in my double wide.
I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I think you only get one spot on Champion Row. Maybe we'll talk to our next guest here in just a minute, but I think that might fall to him since you already got that spot
Right.
for San Antonio. Alberto ran rib grind for the first time. He got my first perfect score at Bucks and Barbecue. Congratulations, my man.
That's
Alberto.
awesome. Congratulations.
Checking
I know a
in
couple
on
other
you.
people have had perfect scores with it, so it's great.
James Powell asking, "How's that work for Houston next year? Chicken fried barbecue 1 and 2?" Don't think so.
I don't think so. So
No, I think it's going to drop to the reserve grand champion, which is our next guest, and we'll get him on just a moment. Real quick, I do want to talk about some show notes real quick. I am not highlighting all of these comments. I got my man Ty Cobb from the Tomball VFW. He is the man. We now have a producer, Bill, and that's going to be Mr. Ty Cobb from the
That's
Tomball
awesome.
VFW. Yeah, so we're just feeling each other
I
out
think
right
that's
now.
great.
So some of these comments that
Yeah.
pop up, normally I'm in charge of those. So he's going to be able to catch. He's going to be able to catch all of these, and it's going to be a surprise to me when we see things like this, which is awesome. So it won't always be me commenting or highlighting, but if I do see something that I need to highlight, I will. But for the most part, it is going to be Mr. Ty Cobb on Top Ball VFW. I guess we'll call him the producer, Mr. Ty Cobb.
That's it.
From
That's
the Tomball
Producer
VFW.
Cobb.
So big things are happening here on this show. It's going to be exciting. And Bill, you got anybody that I should be highlighting or talking to about a special co-host role? And I kind of want this co-host to bring on somebody they know. Like if they're out of state, let's bring on somebody they know that we've never had on the show, and we'll just spread this thing and grow this thing and get to meet all kinds of different people.
Man, I think you ought to bring in Carmen. She's been on fire. Carmen's been hitting the jack. She's been hit. She hit first place at Austin Rodeo. It's 2 years in a row on the open category. That girl has just been hammering them, you know. And man, I think Carmen would be a great co-host for an episode.
She is amazing. She has actually co-hosted this show before.
Yeah, so she's got experience as well, you know.
Yep.
So
does this young lady right here, Belle Clark from Jason's Good Old Boys. All right, Bill. Anything new with Bill before you assume the co-host duties, my man?
No, man, I'm just getting ready. You know, man, Austin, and I really wasn't expecting. I was talking to I think Phil earlier today that I've got 4 qualifiers, and I really wasn't expecting San Antonio and Austin to be 2 of them. But being that I have 4, I'm really going to try to get 7 if I can. You know. To get to Houston, you know, or to get to the Jack, actually, you know. So that's my mission, is just try to bang out. Now that I've got 4 under my belt, I got 5 months to get 3, and we all know how finicky this sport is. And you can bang them out, and then you can go dry for 2 or 3 months easy, you know. So, and maybe even longer. So hopefully I can keep putting something together and keep falling on the right tables to get 7 before it runs out. So.
I saw Michelle and Adam Martinez are in the comments. #GetUpChucky. Special shout out to our guests last week, which were Michelle and Adam Martinez. And we also had Whitehead. Justin, right? Was it? Come on, Rob. Get
Trey Whitehead.
Trey Whitehead. Thank you so much. I got Justin on tonight. I'm sorry, Trey. Trey Whitehead from Jasper County. Winning the grand champion at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. So shout out to those guys, and thanks for coming on the show and making this one better. All righty. Let's bring them on. Are you ready to do that?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
I could have Ty put the new banner up for the Pitfather, Eddy Morales. We will get him on in just a second. But while he's doing that, man, let's Eddy, what do you know about Eddy? What do you know about Eddy, Bill?
Man, I've known Eddy it's probably been a couple of years, and you know, we talk. Me and Eddy, I don't think we've become the best of friends, but we're definitely, you know, we've gone out to dinner a couple of different times and had lunch. And man, Eddy is just a solid cook. He's always in the mix, you know. And every time you go to a contest, man, Eddy's walking. You know, and like I said, Eddy's just, man, he's a solid cook for sure. And he's one of the guys that every contest you go to, he's going to be entered into the lottery. So whether he wins it or he gets 3rd or he reserves, you know, he won Austin last year. I think we were at Hold'em and hit him. He's definitely going to hit top 5s usually, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, he's won his fair share for sure. So yeah, he's a solid cook, someone I respect, and you know. And if I'm struggling, it's somebody that I would actually talk to, you know, if I needed help. And man, he's giving me a couple pointers here and there, and I'd like to think I've given him some as well. So he's a hell of a cook.
And look at this guy. I mean, come on, he just looks like a barbecue guy. Right? Look, I'm trying to embarrass him before we get him on.
Man, he's a barbecue guy, and he's also a pool shark. Man, don't play pool against him; he'll take your money. I've never played a pool. Oh, he's fierce, you know.
Instagram model.
He's a fierce pool shark. 9-ball, don't even think about it, man. He's taking your money, you know. I talked to him the other night. Hey, Eddy, man, you sound like you're busy. Oh, I'm in a pool hall, you know. So that was right after Austin. He's over there sharking somebody for money at the pool hall. Yeah.
Well, speaking of him, we got him on right now. There he is, Mr. Eddy Morales.
What's going on, guys?
Look at that banner. 2022 BBQ Austin Grand Champion in 2023 BBQ Austin Reserve Grand Champion. Yes, Louis, Eddy is a bad mofo. Welcome to the show, Eddy. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Be back on the show. How are things going on in Austin?
Everything's pretty good. Back to work, back to the regularly scheduled, you know, work and pool.
So you're still playing pool, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
Actually, I'm playing after I get done with this show. I got league tonight.
Louis says I heard that he rode a bull for 28 seconds after that photo. Man, he
Man, he
might
was
have.
probably holding a pool cue too when he was riding that bull,
So it seems like when you go about something, you put your heart and soul in it, and you pretty much has that kind of been, did you play any sports growing up, and is that kind of how it went?
No, I didn't play any sports. The closest thing I got to sport was skateboarding, and then I broke my arm, broke my leg. I'm like, man, this ain't for me. So I've always had a pool table at home growing up. So as soon as I could see over the table, I started playing.
Nice. How much you win more money doing barbecue or playing pool?
Oh, definitely barbecue.
Okay.
Definitely barbecue.
Speaking of winning money, you're doing awesome right now, man. You for those that don't know, this is Eddy Morales out of Austin, Texas, with the Pitfather Barbecue. Been on the barbecue comp scene. I'll let you speak, man. How long you been doing this thing now, and catch everybody up for those that do not, maybe possibly don't know who you are at the moment.
Yeah, so like you said, my name's Eddy Morales. I'm from Austin, Texas. I've been cooking competition for about 4.5, going on 5 years, I think, give or take. So yeah, man, I started doing that maybe late 2017, 18 did a little bit, 19 started.
Look at her.
Yeah, 19 started kind of hitting it harder, and then 20, 21, 22, and now 23 here. Getting started.
Do you have a set out plan for how many events you're going to do per year? Or is it kind of, obviously it's grown a little bit year to year, but how's the outlook look for 23 for you?
And whenever the year starts, I'm planning for 52, but there's not 52. So
I don't know.
But as many, this month I'm taking a break. I know you heard last week from Adam and Michelle, but I'm getting married soon, so I gotta put a little focus on that, and take a break and do what I gotta do, and then start hitting it back. When that's done.
And so I did see this Lisa person that I just thought you were just mentioning her name. I was like, yeah, she's in the trailer. She's there. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've never seen her. I've never met her. No, that's not true. But I saw her out and about for Rodeo Austin. When's the big day? When's the wedding date? 2
weeks, March 25th.
2 weeks coming up.
Yes,
she
sir.
is. I like her already. She's talking smack with one hand tied behind my back and an eye closed. She can beat you at pool. Yeah, everybody's talking about y'all killed it in Austin. What's up? Grab them in the brisket. I saw them. I got to hang out with these guys. There's another podcast in Texas. You guys can check them out. And speaking of podcasts, real quick, we are back in the podcast game. We do this show live and really don't post it to podcast, but that's changing now. We'll start posting those over. Podcast is your thing. You can find us on all of your podcast formats, including Spotify. Look at Bill. Bill, what are you doing right now, Bill?
Man, I'm trying to got these comments on my phone. Oh, you love that.
There's Big Bill.
I stole that from somewhere.
We need to get one of Eddy doing that. So Eddy, right. So you look at the schedule. You're going to go out there. Are you particular staying to one sanctioning body, or are you kind of doing whatever you're going to be? Because I think your name's in both organizations near the top, aren't you? IBCA and CBA?
IBCA, I don't know. I haven't checked in a while, but somewhere in the 15, 16, 17, around there. And then CBA, I kind of jumped up a little bit, with that RGC, somewhere in the 12 or 13. But as of right now, not for any particular reason, but my schedule's looking a lot like CBA.
Okay.
And you're doing some KCBSs too, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the plan. So I got a KCBS at the end of this month, and then obviously I'm gonna go to Danny Dietz. But I do want to hit maybe 4 or 5 out of state this year. So that's the plan. I'm thinking California, Oklahoma, around there.
Nice. Spread the wings. Bill, you did that a little bit a couple of years back, or maybe last year. Any advice for him traveling? Any advice for him traveling and going to different markets or different regions?
Man, if you're really wanting to, mess with KCBS, I would hit as many doubles as you could. because on the doubles you drive once, you get to cook twice, and you're a great cook, but just timeline wise, KCBS is, and you've done them. I mean, they're a lot faster, but you can make little tweaks to your timeline, one day, and then the next day, on day one, maybe my ribs, I probably should have sauced them a little bit earlier because I was kind of jammed up on time. KCBS happens so fast that, it takes a little bit, but you can learn a lot in a double as far as making changes to your timeline, because it's, man, it's once 12 o'clock hits, it's ding, 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 ding. There's really, not a whole lot of time, but there's little things that you can do in that timeline to kind of buy yourself some time. If there's stuff you can do, while you're wrapping while chicken's wrapped or whatever, you can kind of get your pork ready, money muscles cut off or glazed. So just little shortcuts that you can do to where whenever it's crunch time, man, you're already kind of ahead of the game, and you'll learn that by doing doubles. Like I said, you already know how to cook, and you already know how to cook really good barbecue. It's just a matter of adjusting to those timelines. So if you can pop out some doubles, being that we don't have a lot of them in Texas, if you can find some doubles that you could get to, man, you'll probably, like I said, I mean, at first, when I first started doing them, man, it felt like a whirlwind. But after doing 5 or 6 of them, man, I'm running my own boxes, and I'm not really feeling like I'm crunched for time at all.
Yeah.
It took no time for all of it to slow down, but in the beginning, it was really fast.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind.
You going to be traveling yourself to these things? You're going to be flying in? Case always used to say talent flies. Are you going to be flying in for some of these? You mentioned California.
No, that's the plan. I'm going to, get in contact with some people and have stuff down and just fly in and go cook and fly back.
Well, if there's anybody listening, contact Eddy. He needs some help getting some of these set up all across the country. There was one this weekend that Phil and I did in Yuma last year. That was a lot of fun. I saw Sterling headed that direction. So let's get to this BBQ Austin thing, man. That's your backyard. That's your home turf, so to speak. Last year, again, we mentioned right there in a scroll, 2022 Austin. BBQ Austin Grand Champion, 23 Reserve Grand Champion. You got it figured out over there, buddy. Did it feel that way, or you just?
Nah, man. I cook in Austin once a year. We don't have any cook-offs here. That's the only cook-off we have in Austin. I mean, we have Cedar Park, which is about 35-40 minutes away. Leander, which is also about 30 minutes away. But I mean, in the Austin area, we don't have any cook-offs. We used to, but chili, one more, but we don't have many cook-offs, man. So I just cook what I cook everywhere else, and I guess they like it here too.
That's all. That surprises me. There's not more in the Austin area. Maybe that's coming. Is Chili still around? Is it still there?
No, they haven't done Chili since 2019.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they have one coming up at the Circuit of the Americas, and I think the same weekend as my wedding, but
yeah, I think it is. Yeah, same weekend as Alvin, I think. Yeah,
and it was the only one in Austin that I know about. But
which sanctioning body is that?
It's a IBCA.
IBCA around the Circuit of America. Is that F1?
Yeah, the F1 track here in Austin.
Oh, cool. That's
yeah, it would be cool.
Access too many Californians in Austin for barbecue.
Yeah, you might fit in over there with your Austin food. Over in California, you probably do well.
Oh yeah,
probably do well. So, what do you have? What do you think you got dialed in over there, man? Is it? Obviously, the team count rose by about 75 teams. What do you remember about last year's event versus this year's event? I tell you what, it was pretty crowded in that venue especially where we were. You guys are nice and on Champions Row. Y'all got all this room over there because y'all are champions and all. But us little peons sitting out there in the 200 section, we were jam packed over there.
Really, the only difference was one was Lone Star, one was CBA.
Right.
But as far as the cook goes, I don't know. I just cook the same thing I cook every weekend. I didn't change anything. I didn't add. I didn't take away. I just cooked the same old stuff. And it worked last year and it worked this year. So,
No,
I don't want to say I got Austin figured out because I don't cook in Austin much. You know?
Talk about let's talk about the kind of quirky. They say keep Austin weird. Even that cook-off was a little weird, right? Though the tagging of the brisket, the different turn-in times. How did you guys adjust to that? Obviously, y'all adjusted well, but we're talking about the GC and the RGC. But does that, to me, all it does is you get to sleep in a little later because I did like that 5:30 brisket turn-in. But then you're sitting there with 2 hours in between, which is a long time. But does that mess with you guys at all? To me, as somebody that's kind of regulated now, I'm used to those hour turn-ins. I'm not saying it affected me, but it's just something you have to definitely put into play and think about it and put your game plan in motion.
Yeah, I mean, I just started at the same time. I started counting them with my fingers. I'm like, and I did that for, same time I start. Usually I just pushed it back, a couple hours and just reset all my time, all my alarm clocks, 2 hours later.
Lisa says you
I did the same thing, man. I just, I slept in and I told my wife, I said, man, we don't have brisket until 5:30, man. We can get a hotel. I don't have to sleep in the trailer. Normally I sleep in the trailer on the cook night, but I was like, man, I don't have to put brisket on until 10 o'clock in the morning. Man, we can get a hotel. So we ended up getting a hotel and sleeping in, and man, I didn't get there till 9:30 in the morning. So I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was nice. What time did you put your brisket on, Bill?
I got there at 9:30. I put brisket on at 10. So as soon as I got there, little drum, put the brisket on.
Yeah, I put mine on. I slept in Aaron's trailer on. Hey, nobody questioned that. I slept in Aaron's trailer on game day on Saturday morning or Friday night and the Saturday morning. He's nudging me at 7 a.m. He's like, hey, what time are you gonna wake up? I'm like, for another couple hours, buddy. Leave me alone. Let me sleep. He's on this big jambo. He's starting.
And I think I could have put my brisket on at 11. So.
Yeah. He's starting it early, and he was like, "Hey, nudging me." I'm like, "Leave me alone."
Yeah. Come on. That's what she did. It was about 6:45, and she's like, "Hey, it's 6:45. What time are you waking up?" I'm like, "About 7:38." So I still put it on a little too early. So then I choked it down. And I cooked it at 250 for a while, and it was good.
Romero, Rob with the little spoon. In that situation, that's definitely what happens. Lisa, he has no clue what he's doing. I don't believe that. Look, there he is. There's Rob popping in and out. Loving it, Ty. Keep it up. You're doing a fine job back there. So you obviously doing well at Austin, but the week before you finished 10th overall at Houston on Champions Row. Because you won Austin last year, you got to go to Champions Row. Now I think Bill just did you a solid by winning San Antonio.
I think he did.
Won Austin. He can't put his double wide back there. It's got to go to somebody. I think it drops to you. Has that been talked about already? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. It's been talked about. I talked to some people that are above me, and it's almost 100% going that way.
Okay, awesome. Here's a question right here. What cut of brisket are y'all using? Prime, Wagyu, or better?
Wagyu. I use Wagyu last year and this year. Snake River Farm.
Midland meat Wagyu.
I ran a snake this past weekend, but I don't always run Wagyus. Those bigger ones, I was talking to them. I just went through a gauntlet, man. Starting December 8th of the last 8 contests I've been, the smallest one was 77 teams, and most of them have been over 150, 200 team contests. So I'm happy to get back down to the normal 30 to 50 team contest. Those will be a welcome sight here in just a little bit, but I don't always run a Wagyu. Not every contest. I don't know if y'all do the same. That's a good question, Tony. So it really just depends on where I'm at and where I'm going. I will also run a prime. I love a good prime. I think it has a great texture, a great feel. How do you guys feel about that? Are you guys always running wags?
I'm fine with a prime. I'm fine running primes. So
yeah, I was running Wagyus every weekend, and I actually a phone conversation with Bill, and he's like, man, I don't have a problem with the prime. So took that and I went and bought me a prime and went cooked in refugio and got me a first place brisket. So it worked.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dwayne Turnbow ran a prime in Houston, hit ninth. So
Nice.
Britt Davis, Walmart choice, buddy. Hey, save where you can. This sport is expensive. Stephen Pfeiffer choice. Let's see. He had no idea that timeline. I'm loving Lisa's comments here tonight. He had no idea with that timeline what was going on over there.
I didn't. I was like, man, is it at 1:30? Is it at 2:30? Is it what time are ribs? 2:30? No, it's at 3:30. I'm like, what the hell?
It wasn't a good
Even though we had a 2-hour turn in, I still was running to turn in because we had a 5-minute walk, man. It was tough, and it was uphill too, man. They put us back on this hill, but I enjoyed we'll get to Houston in just a second. But I enjoyed overall the Austin experience. I thought it was really cool. There was a lot of parties that go on in Austin. For those that have never been, that was my first time. It's kind of like a Houston except all the parties are like open. There's no real private parties. There might have been a few out there, but for the most part, you can go in. It's definitely a fundraiser. They posted the numbers today. I don't have those, but they raised quite a bit of money for the kids out there. And that is just donations. They have blue buckets all over. A lot of these teams have blue buckets on their bar. They encourage everybody to donate, and pretty much, you go in there and it's an open, they have food, they have an open bar, and they have live entertainment, and basically you just drop some money in the buckets, and which is what you should do, and go out there and enjoy yourself. It's a really cool scene out there. I enjoyed the hell out of it. They had a carnival. I didn't make it out to the carnival, but BBQ Austin did a great job, and the CBA team did a wonderful job. We had a rock star team out there for that weekend. I know that there were no issues at all with out there. So hats off to BBQ Austin. And definitely I'll be back for 2024. I know you guys will, because y'all will be defending your titles there.
Yeah, I think there was a question about burn-ins. I did run burn-ins at Austin. So I think someone asked a question in the chats. Yep. I did run them. So
I did not.
Turned in burn-ins and slices. Eddy killed it with just his slices, I guess. Yep. So.
Yeah,
I cooked them.
Slices.
I didn't cook them. They didn't make it in the box. I'm still figuring those out, man. I need to dial that in, but I don't know, Bill. I'm surprised you turned them in. You're normally Mr. Non-burn-in guy. You're just like it's
Yeah, I mean on KCBS, it's man, they can only score you on what's in the box. So when I was doing KCBS, man, I didn't turn them because they're going to score me just on my slices. But in CBA, it's a little different in the sense that, man, a lot of those judges have maybe never tried a burn-in. So I think a burn-in tastes better than a brisket slice. So I've been turning them in the last couple of cook-offs just because I feel like my burn-ins are maybe a little better than my slice. And I just feel like it's given them a choice, and it's a lot of the people that are hitting brisket are turning in burn-ins, but equally so, Eddy didn't turn them in. If you look at Houston, you saw Fred's box. He turned in burn-ins.
Yep.
And I don't think Chris Schaefer did, and I don't think he walked in brisket. So I turned them in at what's it called? Hold them and hit them. And I walked in brisket with burn-ins. So it seems like most of the time since I started cooking them, knock on wood, I've been walking in brisket, so I'm going to keep cooking them until I don't walk,
Well, now we are in what December, January, February. We got 3 full months. We're into the 4th month of the new CBA calendar year, where they did allow different cuts of chicken, and they did allow burnt ends into brisket. Bill, you just kind of explained your brisket, and everybody knows you're cooking thighs right now because you are posting some beautiful pictures of thighs over there. I'm still cooking half chickens. I might dive into the thighs. I don't mind cooking thighs. I hate trimming thighs. That's the worst part of it. Bill has a pretty cool system. I think you can find it on YouTube how he does his thighs. Eddy, you don't have to divulge, but are you changing anything on your chicken as far as what you were doing prior?
I was planning on it, and then I trimmed up, 2 packs of thighs, and I had them vacuum sealed, ready to go. And then again, talked to Bill, and not that he talked me out of it, but we started looking at my scores, and he was like, "Man, there's no problem with these scores. Just veer above 190, 195, keep going on that half." So I stuck to the half, and it did good enough.
Yeah,
it did good enough to get give me some extra points.
Zach Miller says half hit first last weekend.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, he had a huge first place chicken. So
Yep.
Zach Miller, he had a huge first place chicken. His son competed in the kids queue. Shout out to Reed Breeden. He won the junior grand championship. There's an awesome video out there of Reed losing it, which I love it. And Carlos's daughter, I don't know her first name, but Carlos Calzada's daughter was the reserve grand champion for the junior championship. So congratulations to you kiddos. That was pretty awesome to see. I did see the video. What about that fish fry? Yeah, fish fry barbecue is the name of Diesel's team, which I think is great. They all have their own team names now. Running Boar Barbecue for Reed.
I got his sticker on my trailer.
You got a sticker on your trailer. Very cool.
Yeah.
Carlissa, there she is. Carlissa Calzada. Congratulations, young lady, with that reserve. I don't know. Anybody know who won the senior division? We can give them proper shout outs as well. All right. So you were on Champions Row. I kind of touched on it. We'll go right back to that. Houston, you also had a very great showing out there in Houston. You're sitting on Champions Row. How was that? And you didn't even show up till Thursday night?
I got there Thursday night about 11, almost midnight.
Yeah,
gates were locked. Gates were locked.
I'm like, man, what the hell am I gonna do? So I called Jimmy. Jimmy answers his phone. He's all sleeping. I'm like, man, Jimmy, how do I get in here? He's like, man, just pull the gate apart. She decides she jumps the fence. I'm like, man, I ain't jumping that fence. I'm not trying to hurt myself. I'm not trying to pull a Manuel Moreno in San Antonio, I pulled that gate apart, got in there. My power wasn't working. They didn't have the right connections for me. It was hot, humid. Oh, man, I was ready to go. I said, man.
Whew. I hope your meats were obviously in a cooler at that point.
Yeah, luckily I keep my generator in my trailer. So, and every time before a contest or after the contest, I'll fill it up with gas. So I had a full tank, held us over till the morning, and then 5 minutes before they ran out of gas, they came and did my power. So I was good on that part.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Greg, going back to the legs real quick, or chicken legs for Greg. Renee said I did thighs in Floresville. Screw that prep. Yes, I agree. So you get in.
Like I said, I trimmed up some thighs for Austin, and I have 2 packs sitting in the freezer. So next KCBS at the end of March, I don't have to mess with it.
I think he's talking about you, Carmen. He was a joy to cook with. Cook box pit for the sweetie. Maybe she's talking about Diesel, because no one calls you a sweetie.
Nope.
Eddy.
Not me.
Maybe Mark Suarez. He loves taking your photos, bro, out there. And I'm like, man, look at this Instagram photo shoot we got going on.
Rob went and cooked next to him, and he didn't even get any.
I didn't get a single photo. He's like, screw that guy.
Yeah, I'm going over there, cook next to the cameraman, see if I can get some pics, and it didn't work.
Foiled plan did not work out. But
yeah, so Houston was, man, it was crazy. It was something else for sure.
How do you like being on Champions Row?
I loved it, man. It was fun. I like, being behind the gates. Not a lot of people coming by. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It was hot, but it was cool.
Yeah, and at night, a lot of people come by. Especially Saturday night. Y'all got a cool view there. Bill, you're going to be on Champions Road next year. That's pretty awesome for you. Congratulations.
Yep.
But you're cooked, man.
I did some reconnaissance this year, so I was over there quite a bit with Eddy and those guys, just kind of checking it all out. So
you were scoping out your spot. Did you get to pick your
spot? I was doing a little reconnaissance work while I was in, cooking chicken for Fong. I'd ease over there to the Champions Row and try to hit their cooks meeting and see what all the rodeo rules are about. So
Yeah, we're going to touch on that a little later. Well, I'll ask you guys in a minute. But Carlos had a good question. We just got done with rodeo season. We've had the Humble Rodeo, the San Antonio Rodeo, Houston Rodeo, and BBQ Austin Rodeo. And it felt like Smokin on the Rio was like a rodeo. It was right there on the grounds of a rodeo. But which rodeo did you guys enjoy the most?
San Antonio for me. For me, San Antonio. So
yeah, for me, for me it was Austin, just because I had a lot of friends come by, family come by, and that never happens. We're driving 3, 4, 5 hours away. Nobody comes and visits, but yeah. So Austin, it was cool. I had a lot of friends, a lot of family, and that was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Michelle says she's happy her dressing room is coming back next year. Your trailer.
Oh yeah.
Your trailer.
Yeah, shit. Hey, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Man, I tell you what, I definitely enjoyed San Antonio. Had a big walk there with first place rib. We'll talk later, but getting to walk the stage at Houston was pretty awesome too. So I would have to say Houston was a cool experience this year, right. and I get the hype now. It's pretty amazing. San Antonio has the best chicken on a stick.
Man, I really do.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Ty. I just highlighted the same thing. Yeah, that's actually, I think that's what got Manuel. He was looking for chicken on a stick, and that was it. His night was over. The worms are checking in. What's up, Joe and Monica Castillo? They walked the stage. It was cool to see Joe out there. Joe, you're going to be in a video here in a little bit as well. So, but yeah, so you finished. What were your placings in Houston? Because you finished 10th overall, which is pretty amazing.
I finished 10th overall. I had a 16th or 17th chicken, like a 27th rib. My briskets were really killed me. It was a 58.
Ooh.
So I don't know, and that was the best looking box. I mean, the brisket was badass. It was good, but yeah.
So we're going to touch on that with the guys that I have on later. We got Brian Keene, Justin West, Chris Hatcher. They'll be on in the second hour. We're going to be talking Houston for sure. But do you guys? I've heard the term rodeo rules, which we all talk about. The contest supervisors, they seem to have different interpretations of the rule. And we also, I think there's also maybe like a rodeo cook. Listening to Michelle last weekend, she was top 5 in CBA last year in ribs throughout the entire year. And I asked her, "Hey, did you cook that same rib in Houston?" And she said, "No, I don't do that rib. I have a specific recipe for Houston." So I was like, my mind was going. I was like, okay, maybe you got to change it up a little bit when you go down there. Eddy, maybe you didn't change anything up. I know Bill probably didn't. His chicken looked gorgeous as always, and it looked like the same. Bill, did you change anything up in your chicken this year?
Man, I probably did. Yeah, I did actually. So that's not uncommon, So. I ran a couple practice birds, and man, I went and asked people and I already had in my mind what I wanted to do. But man, I got a couple people in our camp. They tried them. I ran 2 practice halves the day before with 2 different injection packages, and then I took them over to Eddy and Fred and let them try them, and Chris Schaefer, and you got mixed results. The people in my camp wanted bird A, the people at Champions Road wanted bird B, and man, I took bird A and just kind of diluted it down a little bit and ran with that guy, and man, it hit 25th, but I thought it was a good chicken. So
that's a great chicken, 25th out there, 256 teams. It's a great chicken. Eddy, did you change anything when you were out there? That was your first time to cook Houston, right?
That was my first time to cook Houston. I didn't change anything on my recipes. I cooked a small bird. I tried to cut my ribs real small so they can fit in that box, but it was still it was still tight, So, but no, I didn't change anything.
Man, I tasted Eddy's bird, and I thought Eddy's bird was fabulous, which is why I told him, man, I'd run that bird in Austin. Man, I wouldn't dick around with the thighs. If you can cook a bird like that every week, man, the trim's so much easier. Eddy's bird was, man, it was really good. So,
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I was pretty happy with all my turn-ins, especially my brisket. I mean, that was a really good brisket, but yeah, it didn't land where I'd like it to, but it was still not the worst spot that it could have landed on.
Robert Smith, champion brisket. He had issues getting it in the box, and he at one point I've heard him tell the story that his wife Carissa, she's never said it before, but she was like, "What the hell is that?" Because he was just trying to stuff 10 slices in that little ass box, and it's like 5 1/4 inch on the bottom. I was measuring for 7, and I had to wrap just a little bit around. Yeah. So appearance, I guess, doesn't really matter out there. I'm not sure. Maybe the guys later they've done it a few years. Maybe they can explain the scoring, how it is out there. But I do think, I think I'm going to, because I will be back next year, cooking for Half Fast Cookers. Thank you guys very much.
I'm going to go check the tires real quick.
Go ahead. Go check the tires. Make sure they are good. I'm going to pull him down real quick. But yeah, so I think for myself, I think I will change it up a little bit next year and maybe do a different, not so much as straight of a comp style cook for me.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to back off a little bit, maybe on the injection, and just kind of do a solid, just a regular, not regular, but middle of the road brisket. Maybe it was too much for them, but.
All right, buddy. Well, you are getting married soon. Congratulations, Lisa. I know you're in the comments. Congratulations, young ladies. Y'all are going to get married in a couple of weeks. So that's pretty cool. Y'all got plans immediately after? What are y'all doing after that?
We don't have it planned yet, but we're probably going to work on something.
Cool.
The plan that I have for the next weekend is a KCBS cook-off. So.
Let's go to Cedar Park, baby.
Cedar Park. I'll take you.
Are they going to be filming out there again at Cedar Park this year? Do you know?
I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I haven't even seen the last episode.
Have you been approached by anyone for doing some of these shows that are coming out?
I did. Yeah, I got approached. I got approached by one girl. I think she said she was one of the recruiters or whatever. Sent her a video, but never heard back. Maybe I wasn't too talkative or something.
Priorities. You don't need to talk, man. Just send her the Mark Suarez, Eddie Morales collection, and it's like boom.
It's funny because every cook-off they go to,
hit her up with one of these, man.
That's a good picture. I'm gonna frame that one.
That is
put it up at the wedding.
Cedar Park honeymoon, absolutely. My honeymoon is a cook-off. There she is. What does Lisa think of these photo shoots that you're out there doing?
I don't know.
Lisa, what do you think of the photo shoots that he's doing out there? Mark seems to find you all the time. I think he's got a man crush on you. I think
because I'm always talking shit to him on Facebook. Every time he posts somebody, I'm like, man, where's my picture?
She said, I do to the barbecue life. Yes, she has that comment with Caleb warning. Is Caleb in here? No, I don't know what comment he's talking about. Well, cool. Well, congratulations, my man, on all your success at Houston. Oh, there's Bill. Bill's back. Get the co-host back in. Let's drop him back up here.
Back in.
And all your success, man. You had a great showing at Houston. You killing it in Austin as well, and you're going to be climbing up there. I know we're going to be talking about you later down the line in these. Not I was going to say the power rankings. You're already up in the power rankings for the So Smokin' Gooder show, but I was talking about the end of the year rankings for CBA if you choose to.
I think that's the plan. I'm a chase the CBA points chase. Why not? I was gonna try it last year, but I didn't really feel like cooking much last year.
Yeah.
After 2021, I cooked every single weekend. So last year I took a little break. I only cooked like 12 cook-offs, and I was 11th in IBCA. So,
damn. Yeah, after this gauntlet of cook-offs or rodeo season or banner season, and I was hashtagging I think I'm off for 3 weeks. I'm not cooking until the end of March. So welcome break from me. Going to concentrate on this show, hopefully making it a little better. We got Ty back there doing his thing, and got the new first special co-host with Bill. Eddie, maybe I'll get you on as a co-host. You think you can handle that?
I think I can.
I think you can now.
I'm getting rid of the jitters.
The first time I had Eddie on, I was like, I felt like I was in the dentist chair. I was trying to pull stuff out of him. Like, oh, it's like, hey, how'd it go? He was like, yeah, good. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been posting a lot of like stories on Instagram, like talking. That's how I've been kind of working on that. I'm pretty shy, man. A lot of people don't know. But I mean, when you got to know me, you're like, well, dude, why aren't you like this on the show? I'm like, yeah, because
I told you, I was like, man, I thought you were an asshole at first. You're just shy. And for those that don't know Eddie, he's a super guy. Everybody's commenting that does know you out there. If he doesn't know you, he's not going to come up to you. Maybe he is now, but back then he may not have. But get to know this guy. You're definitely going to be hearing his name out there. He's one of the young studs in this sport right now, coming up and doing his thing, man. And I'm happy to have you on the show. And down the line, let's talk about doing that. And I know I'll be saying your name quite a bit on this show during the wrap up recaps. Give him a few cold ones.
Once I have a few cold ones, I'm good to go. But
you're good.
It's been a while, man. And whenever, it was at the point where I wouldn't even order my own food at restaurants. I'd look at her and she's like, "You just order it." And I'm like, just tell her what I want. You know what I want. But I told her, I said, 2023, I'm not gonna be shy no more. Fuck it.
There you go.
Awesome, bro. Well, that's cool, man. That's something you're overcoming. That's awesome, bro. I'm happy to hear it. But you are a super cool dude, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you over the last year and a half. And much continued success. And again, I'll be saying your name quite a bit. We'll get you back on the show for sure. All right.
Yes, sir.
And, shout outs before you go. Anybody you want to thank for doing what you do? Oh, there it is right there. There's one.
Ant Mafia, Get Up Chucky, Prairie Fresh. We got Texas Original.
Yeah, buddy.
Charcoal. Cosmos Q. And pretty much it.
Sweet. Well, we're on two. Oh, where'd he go? I just see ya. No, we're on two teams together, Team Cosmo and Texas Original. So awesome. All right. Well, there he was. Eddie, thanks for coming on the show, buddy. I appreciate you for kicking off this first hour. Thank you very much. And we'll catch you down the line, bub.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Great job, Eddie.
The RGC this year, the GC last year, 10th overall at Houston of BBQ Austin, RGC, GC. 10th overall at Houston. The man's doing a fine job. Look at Ty. Ty's he's on his game. He's about to pull. You don't know who I'm bringing up next yet, but he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
He's on.
We're learning each other. I saw Bells in the comments. Shout out to Tom and Bell Clark coming up two back to back.
2 in a row.
GCs. I checked out the standings just the other day, and they're sitting in second overall in standings, and they're leading 3 out of the 4 categories in the current CBA standings right now.
They better be on the power. They better be on the power rankings, Rob.
I'm not punching the wrong buttons, man. That's we're figuring things out, buddy. We're figuring things out. So, Bill, how you liking this special co-host role right now?
Man, I think it's great. I was kind of fearing it coming in. I was like, man, it's a 2-hour show. That's a long time. I told my wife, I said, man, we're gonna have to change the chair she's got me in this little bedroom. And I mean, the chair in there, it's kind of a hard chair. If I'm gonna have to sit here for 2 hours, I'm gonna need a more comfortable chair. So it's work. This show is work, Rob, So.
Yeah. Eddie bringing it. We had 80,000 at one point. We still got a whole another hour of the show. I love it because you're asking great questions. You're chiming in, and I have Ty down there doing his thing. So I'm enjoying this. This is kind of cool. Shout out to Adam Martinez, Ali Castro, what's up? Louis Gonzalez, Kevin Hernandez, Lisa is watching, Michelle Martinez, Mark Suarez, got a man crush on Eddie. I know you do. Carmen Breeden,
Snatcher,
big first place open, followed up that third place open in Houston. Carmen is killing it.
Carmen's a beast.
When it won the first place in the open category, the David's Kitchen. I was holding out hope because I had just come off of second place. But then I remembered still miss Carmen Breeden out there. I was like, it's over. It's over, Rob.
It's over.
Give it up. Give it up. And then
Get ready, Carmen, to walk, is what I told her.
Cole Swindell play. And I knew it was over. That was Co Wetzel. That was definitely not Cole Swindell. Brandon Flores, thank you for that comment. All of y'all are down to earth, guys. Brandon, you're a cool dude. Great to get to meet you. Armando de Luna with Los Milagros with a big first place rib at BBQ Austin. So we've had a Carlos at first place BBQ Austin ribs. I had the San Antonio, and then our guest coming up here in just a second. First place last year, and the other guy is first place this year at Houston. So it's
and you got a lot of first.
We got a lot of champions on this show. You got a lot of champions.
My first time to co-host. You got a lot of first, so
it's awesome. We're having a good time out here. I hope you guys are enjoying this show. Phil Breeden is still awake. What is going on?
Still awake.
What is going on?
902.
They had a perfect score. Thank you, Carlos, for the reminder. Hell yeah. Shell Leach, what's up? Good morning. She came in late. All right. Now let's get into that second hour of the show. We're going to be talking Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We just had the contest 2 weeks ago. It was such a huge contest. I wanted to talk about it back to back. We had Michelle and Adam Martinez last week. We had Trey Whitehead, the grand champion from Jasper County, on last week as well. What are you laughing at?
Phil, he says, but I'm fading. He's about to fade to black. I promise you.
He's fading. He's fading. So we're gonna be joined by three gentlemen. I'm gonna bring them on, and we're gonna talk to them for about 2 or 3 minutes back to back, and then I'll get them all three. The first up is Justin West. So Ty, if you got that one, it's gonna be Justin. Oh, look at him! Look at him! Ty's on his game right now. We got Justin West from Hat Creek Q. It says down there the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Champion Ribs of 2022. Not 100% sure. I know you did well this year. 2 calls this year for your team over there. What would y'all place this year?
We had 6. Can you hear me good enough?
Yep. Good.
Okay. Yep. We were 6th place ribs and 8th place brisket.
Wow. 6th place ribs.
We were 8th overall.
Following up a first place rib.
Yeah, same exact recipe. Didn't change. Nothing.
That's amazing. And we'll talk about if you want.
Yeah, I mean, you just text me those recipes, Justin. That would be great for next year. So
I got you, Bill.
If you want to, we'll
Man, I thought Justin and them were going to win Austin because they had 2 calls. Before I had 2 calls, they had 2 calls. So I was like, shit, Justin's fixing to come over here. Him and Cody are fixing to win Austin. Because y'all got 2 calls in Austin, huh? What was it? A chicken and a rib?
Chicken and ribs. Yes, sir.
Justin, introduce yourself real quick. We know of you. You were on our live show at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo over at War Pig Tent, but some of them may not know who Justin West is out of the north side.
Yeah, Justin West from Decatur. My cooking team is Hat Creek Q. For the Houston Rodeo, I team up with Brew Crew Cookers, group out of Orange County, Beaumont area.
Awesome.
So just lucky enough, last year was my first year there as well. So this year was my second year.
What a great couple years back to back. You're batting 1,000 out there.
It was awesome.
We're gonna bring on Chris Hatcher with Chat and Choo Barbecue. Man, Ty, look at Ty already.
That's my boy.
Hollywood.
There's Chris Hatcher, Chat and Choo Barbecue, 2023 HLSR Champion Ribs. Chris, why don't you go ahead and please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Chris Hatcher, if you don't know me, Fort Worth, Texas. And this year I cooked for Hardin County Go Texan down in Houston.
In Hardin County, got 3 finalist banners out there.
Yes, sir.
What were they out of? What were they for?
So we had a final brisket, final rib, and a final Dutch oven.
That's awesome.
Man, that's
brisket,
awesome.
Rib, Dutch oven. What was the Dutch oven?
It was a pecan cheesecake.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you knew how to do that.
Yeah. I don't. Somebody else did it. I can't take credit for that one.
I know. I'm just messing with you. And finally, we got Mr. Brian Keene from Brass Monkey Barbecue. Brian was the champion open winner at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo besting me by, I think, 0.3 points of a point. Brian, congratulations on your big win out there at Houston. Please introduce yourself, my man.
Thank you, Rob, and congratulations to all you other guys. I'm Brian Keene out of Alvin, Texas, Brass Monkey Barbecue. We represented Lonesome Dog cookers at Houston this year, and we ended up finalist in the Open and finalist in Brisket.
Nice.
And so we're
Heck
talking
yeah,
to
good
two
cook.
teams. Two teams with 2 banners at least. Chris with 3 for the team out there. That's pretty amazing, man. That's pretty amazing. Brian, I'm sorry. What I'm trying to do is create a banner. Bill, ask him a question real quick while I do something really quickly, please.
So what place, Brian, did you guys end up falling in Brisket? Was it 4th place Brisket or no?
We tied for 4th. I guess the
Did you?
tiebreaker dropped us to 5th. That was I kind of took charge of the Open, and my good friend Stacy Brenneman took charge of the rest of the competition. Brisket, rib, and chicken. Him and James Torres worked on that.
Man, all 3 of you guys all finaled in brisket and ribs. Nobody finaled in chicken, huh? Out of the 3 of us, huh?
Let's not bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That chicken was.
Yeah, I wish I could.
You know
have
what?
an
I think
85th
it's
place
consistent for all 3 of you guys. All 3 of you guys got hammered in chicken there.
Man,
All, you know,
chicken.
I'll tell you one thing.
106 for us.
Actually, I think Bill, you did not get hammered. You got 25th.
I got 25th. Man, y'all should. All 3 of you should have had me on your team. You know, I got 25th.
Come on.
If any one of you guys had 25th chicken, you'd have won it. You know, so.
Oh yeah.
yeah, we went the wrong way. We had 175th.
Yeah, well, man, Brian's got you beat. I think. I don't know if he wants to tell everybody, but
I'll tell it. I backed out of cooking for a long while and started getting back into it this year in October, and running with Stacy for a couple cook-offs, and then Robert Smith also, just trying to catch up to what I've missed out on the last few years. And so I've tasted probably every chicken Stacy's cooked except for one since October 28th. And that was by far the best chicken he's laid down. It was phenomenal. And man, when we got the scores back, I was completely shocked. It was crazy that we got a score like that, but is what it is. We'll live to fight another day, and we'll go back next year and hammer it.
What was the score?
But you're gonna make me do this, huh?
oh, it's bad. It's really,
one's watching
really
this
bad.
show.
Just say
it's
it
really
fast. It'll
bad.
sting, and then it's over.
242.
Oh,
I'd say it fast.
Yeah, we yeah. So we did the math on it, and I think if I remember correctly, if we would have got 38th in chicken, we would have won overall, and 61st would have got us reserve.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah. We were 106th in chicken, and we were 7 points out of grand.
Right.
ooh.
And Stacy's like the number 5 cooking chicken in CBA. I mean,
Yeah,
he cooks an excellent chicken.
I think
Stacy
I had
does
5
cook a
first
good
place
one.
chickens last year.
Yeah,
Come up with that.
we can't figure it out.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I was looking at all the scores after they come out, and I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but a lot of the early turn-ins in chicken were low scoring that I saw. Like all the 10 o'clock, 10:30, the real early turn-ins were scored like really low.
I was 11-15.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it didn't. Maybe it's just kind of something I saw. With quite a few teams.
Yeah.
But
So how does that work?
We were 10:30. We were 10:30 and got 25th. So.
Oh, Bill, be quiet. We're trying to feel better about my 10:30 turn in. Who knows how it works out there with the staging? So some people turn in at 10:30, 10:45, 11. I think it goes all the way to 11:45 for each turn. I think 10:30 is the first one, and then 12:30 is the first, and that goes to like 1:45, and then you have the 2:30 is the first brisket turn in. I turned in my brisket. I went and hung out with Aaron and Tom and Bell over in their camp and Robert Michelle, and they didn't turn into like 3:30. They turned in a full hour after I turned in. So I'm not sure how that actually works. I hope it's not just held until everybody turns in, but I think it's turned in at the same time, or they're continuously judging. Who knows? I don't know. Who hold your hand up if you know what happened.
I was
We
told
were
that
11-15,
they don't start
1-15.
judging until 30 minutes after the first box is turned in. That's what I was told.
Is that right?
Oh, really?
What'd you say, Justin?
We were 11-15, 1-15, and 3-15, and we were less than a minute walk to the tent. So I don't see how. I figured the way that they staged it, like where Bill and them were on the far end, that they let them get the earlier window so they can get over there. But that doesn't really make any sense either.
Right.
Carmen says they have warmer boxes. If anybody does know how that actually works, we'd like to know, because we're all learning this thing. Justin, that was your second time to cook. Chris has done it for a few years, right, Chris?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was my third year.
Brian, tell your story. You were out of the game for a little bit. You kind of mentioned you kind of went back in. How long were you out, and how long ago did you talk about your barbecue journey? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Man, I started cooking competition about 2003. My brother was driving down the road, saw a pit for sale, said, "Hey, we like to cook on the weekends. Let's try it." We bought the pit. 6 months later, we tried our first competition and turned in what we thought was fabulous and got our teeth kicked in. So we went back to it and grinded another couple months, went to a cook-off, got first place ribs, first place chicken, and it was an addiction at that point. Did that, ran that until about 2017, 2016, somewhere right in there. Had a lifestyle change and just backed down for a little bit. And, this year had some more changes that opened up some more time for me, and said I want to start hitting it. And I did. I say I backed down. I was still doing 10, 12 cook-offs a year, but wasn't chasing points or anything like that. And this year I decided I'm going for it. And, talked to Stacy, which is one of my good friends, and ran with him for a couple cook-offs, got around a bunch of good people out of the Houston area, Robert Smith, Tom and Bell Clark, Mr. Bill, Danny Reagan, and just being around them people, whether you're winning or losing, just brings so much positivity to you and makes you want to show up every weekend to be with them and cook against them. And so this year, that's what I've been doing, trying to hammer at it and be, make something. I'm not trying to win the whole thing or whatever, just trying to, set a baseline for what I know I can do.
Well, you're definitely not a newbie coming back into the thing. How much has it changed? You kind of said 2016, but you're still kind of 1 foot in, but it's a little different now.
It's a ton different. And so I set some goals when I decided to do it this year. And one of those was to win a grand championship this year. The first weekend of the CBA, I went to my first cook-off by myself and got that grand championship. Also cooked with Eric Leland on another team from Texas Barbecue Emporium. And the next weekend, we went and cooked together with him as the head cook, hit another grand championship. So we started off the first 2 weekends between my team and his team with back-to-back GCs. So, man, that was a big boost. My second goal was to, be a finalist at Houston. I think minus 3 or 4 years that I took off from Houston, we'd been there 11 years, I think, cooking for that team. And that was my other goal, was to be a finalist there. I've hit 17th in ribs. I've hit 21st in ribs. I've been close, but, always the bridesmaid. And to hit that this year, that was something special. And I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it right now. It was awesome,
Now I get it, man. That stage is pretty amazing. Chris, you have kind of a similar story. You kind of backed off a little bit, and you're hitting it hard, or I don't know if you're hitting it hard, but you're competing again.
Yeah, so we took a break, obviously when COVID hit, and we kind of got into some other stuff with the kids and just kind of focused on them a little bit more. And then, the end of this past year, we got invited out to cook for some Justin, actually, who promoted a cook-off here locally, asked us to come out. So we did that one last September, and that was our first one in almost 2 years. So had a pretty good cook, had fun, but just didn't get the bug right away. And then we got asked to cook Houston for the county I actually grew up in. So that was our third cook-off back in 2 years.
Wow. Pretty awesome to go back third in 2 years.
Yeah.
Doing that. And Justin, you've been doing it that was your second time, you said, right? To cook Houston?
Yeah, second time in Houston. Yes, sir.
So let's talk about that stage. I used to think that, American Royal is pretty much a straight competition cook, right? They have some parties on Friday night, but after Friday night ends, it is a straight barbecue contest. If you guys have never been there, there's no parties on Saturday and Sunday. It is straight barbecue. San Antonio Rodeo is it's the second largest sanctioned event out there, and they do have some parties, but it is still a major competition. There's a lot of comp cooks out there. Houston was always, these teams that have been grandfathered in, or they've been there forever, and some cook to do it, but mainly it's about the partying out there at Houston. And then, but over the last few years, it has definitely changed. It seems like we're seeing a lot more competition cooks kind of filter in with this, and I think it might be changing some of the judging, the way they go about it now. So we're seeing a mix of kind of, I won't say backyard, but kind of like old school style cooking mixed in and filtered in with some of these circuit cooks. And it's kind of hit or miss for me, what I see out there, talking about just listening to us right here. All of us can cook a great chicken. Mm-hmm. And only one of us here was able to do something, with it. And this guy right there, look at this guy. He's just big and proud.
Man.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy.
But that's Rob. Yeah.
And it's, you guys obviously have figured out something in ribs. But that was my first time, and I think there's a learning curve, right? I think again, talking to Michelle last week, she was number 5 in CBA, and she has a different rib recipe. Let's talk kind of rodeo food. Is it different? Are you guys doing something different when you go out there, or is it more of the same?
Are you fat side up on your briskets? I've talked to teams, and I know some guys that have turned in fat side up briskets out there at rodeo.
No, I mean, it's kind of funny. So probably for the last 4 years, ribs has been my worst category. Like, I think it was back in 2021. If I got a rib call, I GC'd that. It didn't matter if it was 9th or 10th. I'd GC that cook. And I just struggled in ribs. Well, then last year before Houston, I went up to Amarillo to the CBA event, A-Town Throwdown, just to go knock off the rust before Houston. Wanted to go and cook. I'd switched over to cans full time and wanted to go run all the meats on that. Well, we hit a third place rib, and I was like, hey, okay, there we go. We're on to something here. And I swear on everything I love, I cooked that same rib all year last year. And did not change it one bit.
Did it do well everywhere else as well?
Yeah, just, kind of seemed like it's in the summer, it kind of tailed off. It wasn't hitting the top 5s. It was still in the top 10s. But it's kind of weird, like on the chicken, I've always made, like when I've hosted classes and stuff, I'll tell people with this chicken recipe, when you start seeing women walk around in shorts and drinking beer, it means it's warmer. It's a saltier chicken. So usually right around the summertime, it's going to start hitting, So I think I had 5 first place chickens last year. And it's just, yeah. So to see those scores and to see that, oh, it was just heartbreaking. Because last year we were 6th overall with obviously with the first place win, we were 6th overall. So getting 2 banners and the meets this year, I in Hatcher, when I got backstage and realized he was back there with 2 banners. It's like, dude, we might be fixing to 1-2 this. And he was like, we're going to burn this stage down. But
What'd you get last year, Justin, in chicken? How'd your chicken do the year before?
last year we were first rib, 45th chicken, or 37th chicken, and 45th brisket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's
talking,
just, I don't know, man.
the world champion is chiming in, Trey Whitehead. We normally prefer an early turn in at Houston. This year we were on the later side and it worked out. So I guess I'm changing my mind. Listening to Trey, I don't know if y'all got to see, he was on the show last week and he didn't final anything. He had tied, I think for brisket in 10th, and they told him, hey, I don't have a banner for you. We're going to bring the banner. They basically lied to him and said, hey, you need to get to the stage. We don't have a banner for you, but you need to get up there. And he's like, okay. And that was pretty cool to see. No finalists, yet still double GC the overall and the Go Texan portion of the contest. So
you should have seen his face when they called him. I was standing next to him and he was as shocked as anybody.
Yeah, we were standing right there.
He didn't know what happened. It was awesome.
I bet all 3 of y'all were shocked because y'all are sitting
cool,
too.
man.
Yeah,
Man, I think that's the best too. When you have no idea it's coming, KCBS, sometimes you don't know, because it's a cumulative system. I think it's really good to, when you have no idea that it's you. I think it's, I think it's really cool. So
I've been wanting to see a no call champion at some of these big events, and we saw it last weekend. But yeah, he had tied. I think he lost a tiebreaker on that, and for him to be the overall champion is pretty cool. And that just consistency is the key. So I do think we'll go back to that. I do think there's some maybe different cooking styles that could be into play. And what do you guys think about how, I think some of the not backyard, I shouldn't say that word, but some of the old school cooking versus some of the circuit cooks, they're mixing now. The judges that have been there apparently judge every year. And so they're seeing, a change, I think, in what's coming across their table.
One thing, Rob, that I remember from last week of your show, when Trey was talking, I guess he was saying he don't do a whole lot of competition cooking, just very few. So he just went in there and cooked what he knows how to cook. He didn't try to change it and overthink it. And like James Dotson cooked our brisket this year. He was a brisket. And he called me the week before. He's like, man, I've got 5 different recipes. I said, James, you cooked 7 cook-offs last year and had 4 first-place briskets. Do that brisket. Don't change it. Just leave it alone. So
it's hard not to mess with what's working for you. That's for sure. Michelle said, I really think the later turn-in's a benefit. We had early this year, and it wasn't my favorite. I was at the earliest one we had, and I was going to read that next one, Ty, from Louis Gonzalez. If your meats are mostly in the top 10, but never first, what tweaks, if any, would you guys make? Chris.
Oh, man.
He's like, damn
it. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. I tell people all the time, a recipe is a dime a dozen. It's how you cook the food. Your texture, your tenderness, that stuff to me, my personal opinion, matters more than a recipe. Kind of going back to this year, like I was messing around with brisket a little bit at home. It's like, man, I need to come up with some new flavors. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I just could not find what I liked. So I ended up cooking my recipe from 2019 when we had finaled in Houston. And I cooked the same thing this year. So 4 years later, we were 4th overall in brisket at Houston. So to me, that just says, like the flavors are the flavors. You cook it right and you're going to hit. But I don't know. As far as like changing stuff, I just, maybe small tweaks to your process,
Yeah, it's hard to overhaul, especially if you're in the top 10. And Jack Cashman says nothing. Don't do anything because it's going to hit a first somewhere down the line.
Well, that's like one of the guys at our camp that not as familiar with competition cooking as we all are. So he's like, man, we're in the top 10 twice in a row, but if we just fix that chicken, we could win it. And I said, that's not how it works, man. I said, you can turn that same chicken, the same meats in tomorrow and have 3 complete different results. I said, just of course, they were kind of bummed that I was on the stage. Of course, everybody standing on that stage, it's a huge honor, and you're looking around going, well, there's Jamie Gear, and well, there's Fred Robles, and you know, and all these guys that you've seen up on the big stage, and man, you're standing beside them. And I told them, I was like, y'all don't be bummed. I said, this is a huge honor for us, and if this was any other world championship, they'd usually be calling top 15 or top 20 out of the crowd, and you get 2 top 10 calls, you would burn the stage down. Yeah. So it's just different. Rodeo Houston's just different, man.
Yeah, it is different. It's definitely it's pretty awesome. Chris, did you see who just commented? Jay Cohen.
Oh, yeah.
You recognize him?
Mr. J, yeah.
Mr. J. He was both of our contest supervisors out there. And I don't know that he had, I think he said that was his, he didn't have success prior, right?
No, he didn't. I don't think he had any finals before that weekend, no.
Yeah, and so for him to get, so I had 1, you had 3, and I think, did he have another one as well?
Just Trey over at Jasper.
Oh, Trey was his guy too?
Wow.
Yeah.
God, he was a hot
one. Oh, man.
Wow.
You know, he told me on Saturday, he said, he's like, I'd really like to get on stage. I said, man, you've got a great shot. I was like, you've got Rob. You know, I think we can turn in some good food. And you've got last year's Go Texan champion, you know, Trey. I was like, you've got a good shot. And we come through for him pretty big. So.
All right.
Yeah, all his 3. I think that was his 3rd year to do that as a contest supervisor. And, yeah, he was saving up the, sorry for the guys prior to them, but I think we reaped the benefits of him not having that first walk yet, because we all got to walk. And Chris and I were talking about 6, I don't know, it was after 6, and we were like, when do they normally come? Because that was my first time, and he's like, man, they probably already have come, and right about now, it's not looking good. But then Chris said, well, I haven't really seen anybody yet in this at all, seeing anybody get a call. And soon after that, they came around the corner, and I think I lost my shit. I started jumping up and down because he's pointing at me, and then I'm like, me? And he's like, yes, you. And then he kept walking, so I knew he had some more. And Chris, I heard y'all erupt. It was a great moment. And sure. that whole scene at Houston is definitely different. It's a different animal, from the turn-ins to the cook to the size to the stage is just vast. And I have a cool video that I put. Thank you, Jay. You were awesome. And Jay can answer some contest supervisor questions here in just a second. Maybe Jay. I don't want to put you on the spot. But another thing, if you guys are on TikTok, check out Blasslaw, BLASSLAW. That is Jay. He's hilarious on there, and he's got a lot of good information for you as well. But here's a cool video. I think Brian Keene is in this video, but it's basically shows you how massive this stage and what a cool scene it is. And so here we go. Let me add this to the stage and make it.
cool is that?
It's pretty awesome.
That's what makes that contest so special. Is that yes, Joe, you were in it. He was in that video. Sorry, I couldn't get everybody in there. They limited to like 2 minutes and 15 seconds. But it's just it's massive, man, and to be able to be blessed to walk that stage, all of us. Bill, you will be there, Bill.
Except me, yeah.
Bill, wait, that's the wrong guy. There he is, right there.
There he is.
Bill will definitely.
I'll be a rookie next year. I'll be a rookie next
That's
year.
right.
So.
Get that guy off the stage. Look at this guy.
Oh, and then Buckles.
That was me. I can't blame Ty for that. That was all. That was wrong.
So I got a question for I'm not the co-host, but I got a question for y'all.
Yep.
Now that y'all been on the stage and Hatcher, you've won, and Rob, you got a trophy, and with our luck last year, what was your favorite part of that when they come in with the finalist banner? When they call your name, when you hoist the trophy up, or when you go back to the tent with the trophy? For me, it's hands down when they bring the finalist banner. Because last year it was 17 years those guys, been cooking with nothing, and they come last year. And my goal this year, and I told James this, I was like, man, I don't care what it's in, but I just want a finalist so you can see this tent raise up off the ground about 4 foot. And so when they came with 2, it was just holy crap.
Yeah, it's pure chaos when that happens, and there's no other feeling like it to me.
Without a doubt, that's probably the best thing in barbecue right now. No other place does that. Man, we were sitting out on the road from about 5:30 waiting just to see what happened, and sure as shit, they come around the corner holding some banners and signs, and they come up and. He starts pointing at us, Travis does, and we're jumping up and down. He was like, finalist in open. We celebrate 4 or 5 minutes, and him and his whole crew walks off, and he takes about 10, 15 steps and turns around and looks at Stacy and was like, brisket too. Hey, y'all know Stacy. That's a big old boy. Hey, he can jump. I promise you. I got video of it.
White boy can jump, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
I get a double finalist.
That's crazy.
Get a double finalist. It was crazy.
I've given up too. We were up there. I was sitting on the thing, just waiting. Finally, now I'm going on, and then I aproned up, gloved up, and I was actually on the serving line when they rolled in.
Really? Yeah. Chris had made my heart sink already. He was like, yeah, they probably already have come. I would expect them already. And Jay came around that corner. And, yeah, there's nothing like seeing that, and especially when he pointed at me, because I had to make sure, because Chris was there and we already talked about that we had the same guy. I was like, I ain't doing shit until he points back at me. And I did. I lost my shit for about 20 seconds or so. I was
absolutely.
Probably longer than that. It just seemed super fast. But we had one of Josh DeWitt's wife actually caught that. She was out front with the camera rolling the whole time, and she caught it all. I don't know if y'all saw it on my page or not, but it's just nuts, man. And then just are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me?
You don't want to overreact, right? You don't want to. No, it's for him. Sorry, Rob. It was Chris.
No, it's behind you.
He's behind you. I'm just walking here. I'm sorry you had to see this. No, it was that is cool. And then that
all
team,
the other people.
Yeah, that team in the video, they were like Justin, your team. They had been doing it for 15 years, had never walked the stage, and that was one of my goals. Was like, man, I want to get you guys on the stage. Been talking about it, and they brought me in to cook because they've been seeing this season I've had for a couple of years now, and they're like, oh yeah, for sure, it's a done deal. I'm like, no, don't fong me. They tried to fong me.
Fonged.
It was like, no, this is not the way it works, man. We gotta get very lucky too, and thankfully, of all things, the Open did it. Somebody asked Brian, what did you cook in the Open?
Man, just
spam and crackers. That's what Aaron Leslie always says.
Food?
Turn in spam and crackers.
No. Man, you can't go wrong. Surf and turf. That's what I did. I did a ribeye from Iron Table Wagyu. lobster tail, grilled shrimp. Just loaded the box with something good that everybody could enjoy. If they didn't like lobster, hey, maybe they'll like the shrimp. And it just worked out.
Yeah,
Nice.
I cooked a steak and shrimp, and I stuffed it with crab. And then I know Carmen, if you want, you're in the comments. If you want to share what you put in there, I will read it. She did tie. Her and my wife tied for dessert. Love that girl. We worked our ass off on desserts, 17 and 18, in 17th, 18th place. And I saw both of them. They were both gorgeous. Bill, you saw Diane's cheesecake, and
I saw Carmen's too. It was great.
yeah, they were just, they look like they belong on a dang, homemakers
5-star
magazine.
restaurant for sure.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's even better. But man, Houston is a different animal. It's a different beast, like we talked about. But we'll move along here. Justin, what's how's yours?
Desserts may have been too sophisticated, so they were pretty sophisticated
Possibly.
palates for.
Jay says it's just as much fun for us as it is for y'all.
Nice.
I know I'm speaking for Chris here, but man, I'm glad that we were able to do that for you as well. Because man, what a cool moment. I won't soon forget that one. And that might be. I've had the first place rib at San Antonio, which was really neat. That was a really cool moment because of all the amount of teams there. That's right up there with it for sure. And that stage is spectacular. Getting on there, you guys saw it, seeing all that sea of people out there, and the big stage, the big lights. It's pretty awesome. So hopefully,
and
everybody
I
gets
don't
to
know
experience
too if you guys saw it, but I went live from my chicken fried page. So, and I was right there at the center. So it was live the whole time. But I think that post I think it only stays up for like 30 days or something. So, man, if all you guys walk in, all you guys, like Chris getting your trophy, Justin, and you, Brian, getting the trophy, it's all there. So you could go steal it off that page. You know what I mean? That way you can kind of screen record it and just have it, because I don't think it'll stay on my page for, like I said, I think it said when I was live, when I finished the live speed, it said something like it'll stay on there for 30 days, then Facebook obviously takes it off to the lives, but man, if you guys want it, you can go on there, and anybody else that's in the comments that, wants any of the ceremony, you can go and screen record it off of my page.
Cool.
So
Thank you, man.
Appreciate
That's
it,
awesome.
brother.
Yeah, me and Brian and Phil were the 3 open finalists, and we were backstage, and we were
send that video with a chicken recipe, Bill, if you don't mind.
We were backstage, and I had the GoPro film. That's how I got that video, and I was just carrying the GoPro with me, and I was telling whoever, I was like, hey, if I get called first, one of y'all grab this thing and film, and I'll come back and grab it. And then Phil was called first, and so that video you see in the video, me and Brian are just like, hey, one of us is about to be a champion here. Pretty cool, and congratulations, Brian. That was you. But I was like,
thank you,
I get called to hold this, and I'll come back, and that's how that happened. I got called. Nice. And I got my trophy, and then I ran back. They didn't want me. They were like, no, you got to go that way. I was like, no, I got to film here. So I got it. Ran back.
I appreciate that.
That was a cool moment, dude. He fell down to his drop, and then he jumped back up. You're a big boy, too. I didn't think you could do that either. So
I can do sit-ups.
It's awesome. Thank you, Stephen. That's a great statement. Well, Justin, what's on the agenda for the rest of the year for you? And we kind of talked about it. We got things coming up as well.
Absolutely nothing this weekend. After Houston and Austin, this fat boy is done.
Yeah.
No Kaufman this weekend, Justin?
No, sir. I've got 2 sophomore boys that made the varsity baseball team, and I've already missed more tournaments in this season than I have, and I think their whole baseball careers. So I'm gonna be off this weekend. I'm probably gonna cook Ardmore next weekend. I GC'd that last year, so I got a free entry. A bunch of my Oklahoma friends, KCBS cooks, are coming down for that. So we're gonna go up there and do that, and then after that, probably not a whole lot for me through April. Maybe just a local, something easy that I can travel to, because boys are going to be playing on Friday night at 7:00 and not getting done until 9 or 10. And
you got twins?
Not going to be able to travel. No, one's my stepson. They're 6 weeks apart, but I've had him since he was 4. So
That's awesome. That's
you know,
impressive. Sophomores making the varsity team. Hell yeah.
Yeah, baseball's a huge thing in our
Congratulations.
family. Yeah, thank you, man. We put a lot of work into it, and you know, they earned it. And I don't, you know, I told them we're closer to the end of their baseball career than we are the beginning, so I don't want to.
Yeah.
I can cook the rest of my life. So, but we're gonna try to. We're definitely, you know, we'll hit some this summer. I'm going back up to Oregon, Sweet Home Oregon, for a KCBS event up there. Had a blast there last year. Going to do the Royal again. Hopefully we get picked for the Royal Oak Invitational again. Bill got to do that last year. That's a blast.
That's a good team,
Just kind of plug and play. I've never really been able to chase points with the kids playing baseball through the spring and the summer. It's just about impossible. I think the best I've ever done is like 8th place in Region 1 when it was IBCA up here. And there's just no way I can't. So
I'll tell you what, I was very impressed last season in the points chase. Jeremy McMinn was sitting with 12 contests, and he was right outside the top 10, and he decided to go for it. And he finished like 17 total contests, and he was 4th overall, which was pretty amazing.
No, I practice at home. I try to stay cooking it, you know, on the timelines and stuff just to stay sharp. But if you're not in the parking lot, it's hard to duplicate it at home because you get lazy, you get distracted. But no, I love it, man. I think this is my 9th or 10th year. I've cooked a ton with Hatcher. Me and Hatcher are really good friends, so I'm glad he's coming back out, man. I'm really, really excited to see him out.
Awesome. Speaking of Hatcher, what you got on the upcoming schedule for you? Anything?
Man, not a lot. We're going to try to hit some state championships. You know, the goal is to always try to get to the Jack. You know, we're not going to chase any points or anything like that. You know, both of our boys playing baseball this year, and one still racing dirt bikes. We're going to be pretty busy with that, so we'll hit them, you know, whenever we can. We've got a couple CBAs on the books. We're going to try to hit that we've never done, so we'll go try our hand at port. Maybe throw some thighs in the box, see what happens. But yeah, it's you know, we quit and we went cold turkey there for a couple of years, so it's good to be back. Feels good, you know. I've missed the people more than the cooking, you know, like just seeing all your buddies and hanging out around the fire and you know, having some cold beers. That's what's fun. I mean, of course, you want to win, but
absolutely,
man, I've missed the people more than anything. So we're going to try to get out and cook a few more this year.
You weren't
as out of it. Are you going to try to hit McGregor? Because I remember that's where I think I met you, was at McGregor, where you GC'd the KCBS of the double. Yeah.
Do it. It's a double state. Mike Tex Olson was in the comments earlier. Yeah, it's a double state championship. So
is that KCBS again, or is it CBA?
CBA. Both days are CBA.
I love the CBA, both days. Man.
He does a good job.
Yeah, he does a great job. Well, glad to hear you say that, Justin. Chris, I'll ask you the same question. You weren't out of it as long as Brian was, but has it changed in those 2 years, the sport?
You know, to me, there's newer people. I think some of the techniques and stuff have changed, you know, a little bit. I mean, like I said earlier, you know, flavors are flavor, you know, recipes are recipes. You know, an older cook told me one time, he said, good barbecue is good barbecue.
That was Bill.
Turn in, you know, just turn in good food. And that's what we've been doing. You know, we come out of retirement, I guess, if you want to call it that, and went and cooked a Go Texan event and GC'd it. It's like, hell, we can still do this, you know, and we were still cooking pretty much the same flavors as we were cooking 3-4 years ago. So as far as that, you know, I don't think anything's changed, but I know a lot of people are cooking on drums now, which we are too.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big part of it. It's what people are cooking on, really.
Well, cool. Hopefully we see both of you boys in some contests down here. I know that CBA is kind of going into the area as well. Brian, how about yourself, buddy?
Oh man, I'm going to Lake Charles this weekend. I'll roll some dice, see what happens. Next weekend, I'm going to take off and get prepped up for Alvin the following weekend. Man, I might get a hare and run down to Kemah for the Lone Star down there. And then after that, it'll be Victoria and take a week off and then we got back-to-back in Galveston County, and that's a whole different ball game. You cooked one last year, Rob.
Yes.
And
that's a wild. That's a wild thing.
It's a double cut. You got to cook double ribs, double chicken, double brisket, everything.
Did not like that.
It took me about 4 years to figure it out. And what's bad is when you know what you have is the best, you got to turn it in first to make it to the finals, and then it's a crapshoot from there. But finally figured that out, and we go down there. I think we reserved it last year with 250 plus teams, so it
brings in the teams, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I think they had
a lot of teams.
I want to say 260, 270 last year, and we hit it. We hit it for so I'm not going to lie, we're kind of like Houston. We have 8 teams that we have 8 turn-ins that we all cook together under the same name. But out of those 8, with those numbers, we still hit 2nd and 4th overall.
Nice.
So we got some good consistency on our team. I think we still ended up with another one in the top 10 out of those.
Wow.
But yeah, we throw a party like Houston. We're going to serve 1,000 people a night, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
10-year waiting list on Galveston County.
Yeah.
10-year waiting.
No kidding. Wow.
Something you guys should look into is the Texas Six-Pack. It's a Dustin Stanley and Joey Smith from Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. That's the beneficiary of it.
No waiting list.
No waiting list. And it is a series within a series. So they call it the Six-Pack, but there are 9 contests. And I think 8 out of the 9, and they're working on that last one, are state championships. So you can get into a mini points chase. They have amazing. James Minotti is in his comments. He's the one who said that. He's with the Minotti Wood Crafters is his company. Sorry, Ty's on it, man. I just need to stop doing that. Every time I press something, he's pressing it, so it goes away. But yeah, it's a series within a series, right? So it's a points chase within an organization. So there's 9
the best
contests.
6 out of 9 or something?
Best 6 out of 9. They're all throughout the state. They're kind of spread out. Yes, the Six-Pack series, absolutely. And it's something you should check out. If you can't cook that often, this will be something to get you into a points chase. And they have amazing trophies, and I think some of the payouts are actually going to be.
Yeah, there's cash prizes for where you finish too. Like I think, man, even like I finished 2nd in brisket last year, and it was I think it was maybe $500 for 2nd in brisket. So
overall,
yeah, it's pretty cool. So
yeah, it's pretty neat, and the trophies are outstanding. And they've got like a Memphis and May style trophy for the end of the year event. 6 out of 9, Bill. Look at it. Bill's on it.
Are any of y'all coming up to the Lone Star event next weekend in Weatherford up here close to me?
I'm taking 3 weeks off. I'm not cooking again until it's end of March.
30,000 guaranteed plus added.
Well, maybe I might come.
Oh wow!
Maybe I might come up there.
Maybe I might come up there.
Yeah, it's a Lone Star.
What weekend is that?
Like
I heard it was full.
Does that mean Hatcher's going?
What weekend is that?
You're going Hatcher?
Yeah, you can't pass up. You can't pass up a cook like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it makes it hard on me because that's Weatherford's a lot closer than about half the distance to Ardmore, but that free entry. But man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, these big contests have been killing me. The Austin Rodeo, I think I had like a 5 to 6 minute walk, and Chris knows Houston, we had like a 25-minute walk. It was
plus all the people. Yeah,
no, it was legit like 10 to 12-minute walk from where we were. I did it once, and then my buddies had a scooter, and that's where I saw Chris. He was putting around like really slow. I was like, man, you got to gas that thing. I didn't know it was Chris too. I was just talking shit to some random guy because I was about to pass him, and he goes, man, I do have it. And then I was like, oh shit, that's Hatch. And so we talked, and it was a good time, man. Hey, well, let's give some shout outs before we get out of here. Justin, go ahead, buddy. People you want to thank.
First and foremost, I want to thank Craig Verhaage with Roll Oak. He's our rep, good friend. Through him is how I ended up on that tent in Houston. He'd been cooking with it, doing his alligator stuff down there. and they they finally said, hey, let's bring a guy in that maybe cooks more than once a year. So brought us in. So thank him, thank Royal Oak, JDQ, Trauma Hogs, all the people that help us out, Cosmos Q, obviously. Man, it's guys like that get behind us and stay behind us that makes it a lot easier to go out and compete.
Awesome.
LL and the Brew Crew gang, man.
Yep.
There's a bunch of all those guys, such good guys, man. And if it wasn't for them, we met them guys on Wednesday at noon last year, and by Wednesday at 5 p.m., I felt like I've known them my whole life. So
that's great.
Much appreciated.
When they bring you in and you make you feel welcome, that's pretty cool. Did you
Very
get to see
cool.
Cosmo out there?
Yeah, actually, he stayed in the camper with me, so I got to. He's something else, man.
So you were the big spoon.
Yeah. No, I slept on. I gave him the bunk beds because we had a crew in the camper. So James and Erica stayed in the front in the queen bed, and then Rick and Cosmo stayed in the bunk beds, and I actually slept on the fold out couch in the kitchen. So, but hey, when you've served 500 or 600 people and you drink that much beer, you just need a place to fall.
Yeah, you just need a pillow and a floor. Chris, go ahead, bud.
Man, I'd like to thank Hardin County for bringing me in this year. I normally cook for Meat Church and Miller Lite, but they had reconfigured their spot this year and didn't have room for us. So unfortunate, but was lucky to get on with those guys. So I really appreciate that. And of course, Meat Church, Matt Pittman. He's supported me for years and years, and of course, Craig with Royal Oak, I'm not on the team no more since I don't cook much anymore, but, he's always been real supportive and, become a pretty good friend as well. So really appreciate those guys helping us out.
Nice. Give a word to Matt for me. I've been trying to get him on here, and he will not reply to a message. But Brian Keene, go ahead, bud.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, Eric at Texas BBQ Emporium. If you run Monkey in the code, you'll get 10% and free shipping. So he sells everything. Texas Hell Vodka, Survey One, Diamond Hydraulics, the Chopping Block, Webster and Victoria, Texas, and Iron Table Wagyu. Also, my boys Robert Smith and Stacy Brenneman. They've really helped me get back into the game after a brief delay. And, I'm trying to pass that on. There's a couple teams out there, young guys cooking their first years and stuff that I've been trying to pass that on to.
Cool.
Louis Gonzalez with Double D or DD Barbecue. Yep. Jared Fraley, Coastal Cowboy Cookers, and Trent Leica with Bar T. Man, we met, and they're just good guys. They fall right in the same group as all of us. They're going to be people to look out for in the future.
They're great people, and they've really dove in head first into this sport too, which is cool.
Yeah.
We talked about it. I guess we're the older guys now on this thing, doing this thing. None other older than Bill. But we are out there, and it's great to see this new blood come in here. And these guys are really dove in, like Vince and Joyce Regino, even Eddy, the guy we had on earlier, Eddy Morales.
Yeah.
All these guys are just, Bell and Tom have a son, Logan. These young guys are coming in, and gals, young guys and gals are coming in and just really taking to it, making our jobs a lot harder doing this thing for sure. And it's good to see. It's great to see that, and it's cool you're helping them out because it's different. When we started, I don't know, there was a lot of help out there, but now it's they can watch shows like this. Yeah, they can watch shows like this and just shut up and listen. I say it all the time on the show: just shut up, listen. You'll pick up something. I know we said a few things out here that really want somebody is smart. They're writing it down or checking it out at least. What's up, Blake? Thanks for watching, man. I saw his comment. He didn't know about this show until last week, and back to back. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. There's Jared right there watching. Well, cool, guys. Well, this is a fun show, man. This was great. We're talking Houston. I'd love to get you guys back on and do this again. And I know we'll be seeing you guys on stage quite a few times now. It's not the we're not one and done. Obviously, you guys aren't as well. So let's do it again sometime. I appreciate you guys coming on the show. But we're going to try and get out of here in just a minute. I got a couple of things to wrap up. Bill, you don't go anywhere, Mr. Co-host. But
Appreciate you,
Co-host
Rob.
is staying put.
Appreciate it,
No,
Rob.
thanks,
Chris.
guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, everybody.
Appreciate you, Rob,
Good
and
job, man.
Chris, Justin, Bill, Rob. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
same
you,
to you,
sir.
bud.
Proud of all
Good
y'all.
to meet you, Brian.
You too.
All right. There they were, the champions from Houston. Oh, I just removed Bill. The champions from Houston. We had a rib champ on. We had a open champ on. And we had a former rib champ on right there from Houston in double. That's pretty cool, man. And I did pick up some insights. Shut up and listen is great advice. Absolutely. I say it all the time, guys. Y'all can pick up all kinds of things. Let me Ty, you back there, put the just So Smokin' Gooder Show banner on there just by itself, please. All right. So we do need to give some special attention to some winners here. And I did not have the slides, the cute little slides that I make up. And I just did not have the time to do getting ready for the show and making, stupid slides like this right here. So I didn't have time to do
Very stupid slide. Very stupid slide.
And this guy too, he's just sitting there. So we'll do.
Is that
more.
all the same buckle, or is that a bunch of different buckles? Is my question.
They're different buckles. I was team of the year. I was third team of the year.
Team of the year for
in chicken, which got murdered in Houston, by the way, and in Austin. I was second team of the year in ribs. Did okay in Houston, got murdered in Austin. There's a white chalk outline of me in Austin, and I was team of the year in pork, and I brought 4 money muscles to Austin thinking that we were doing pork, and no, there was no pork to be had. So those are ready for the end of the month. But let's give some shout outs to some winners this past weekend. And Bill, you're one of them, my man.
I am.
Let me pull this Canva up real quick. And I can't display, so I'm just going to read them.
Read them and weep, baby.
I'm going to read them. But before we do that, let's do this real quick. Shout out to some special people. Why is this not? There it is right there. Rec Tech. Thank you very much to Rec Tech. They came out with some new hot sauces, and it was hilarious. If you guys saw Jody trying the ghost pepper, which was just apparently it's very hot. But they have been putting out some amazing quality smokers. That Rec Tech Bullseye has been winning. I loaned Willie it, and he won a couple $1,000s on it, and it hit second place in Houston, that Bullseye. Cosmos Q Products, we just mentioned them. Justin did. I'm also on Team Cosmos with Justin. Bill, you are as well. I got to see Cosmo this weekend, so that was pretty cool. How about the Uvalde Cook-Off, the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, coming up December 8th and 9th, 2022. How about this guy, Aaron Leslie, with some big walks here lately? I think he hit 4th brisket, Bill, at Houston.
He was, I think he
4th
was
chicken.
10th chicken.
4th
chicken, yeah.
4th chicken is what he had, and he had that big first place brisket at San Antonio. Summer Moreno, Farm Bureau Insurance. I highlighted her in March. I got to highlight somebody else here. In February, I got to highlight somebody else here in March. If I were drinking tonight, it would be Eureka Heights Brew Company. I actually do have some Buckle Bunny. I'm going to bust one of those out here in just a minute. Case is no longer on the show, but I still have Texas Pepper Jelly. He does have a great sauce. That Craig sauce is great. You can find that at HEB and the barbecue store in Hempstead. You can find it there as well, along with We Branded promotions. Hashtag where you go to win. Bell will correct me if I said that wrong, but I think that's correct. Potch Gaming, what's up, buddy? How were you not following? This guy's from Twitch. Oh, we got a raid. You guys are raiding at the wrong times. Y'all raid right when I'm trying to get out of here. Texas Original Charcoal Company. I was cooking with Joey Machado. I love that product. If you guys have not put that in your hands, get with me. I'll make sure you do. That is Texas Original Charcoal products. Clark Compression and Components, where you can go for all of your gas and oil and gas compression needs, where you go to win. I think that's what I said. You said it wrong. You go to when English. Where
English.
she corrected herself. How about LC Barbecue? Bill, you use that product. I use the crap out of some LC Barbecue products. You can find that at the barbecue store and all of your specialty shops, meat markets, and whatnot, and all of your barbecue store. You can find it at lcbarbecueshop.com. Carmen will get you hooked up as well. The Danny Deets Memorial Classic is now a KCBS event out in Waller County at the Yellowstone Ranch. That's coming up in September. And, of course, my day one sponsor, B1. I had a bunch of decals out there. I still have quite a few. So if you see me and you want some So Smokin' Gooder Show decals, it's late. What's late? Yeah, I know. Oh, she said, LOL, it's late. Yeah, 2 hours in. That's where you can go to Bull Printing, Wraps, and Graphics. Okay, let me pull this back down. And shout out to my guys on Twitch. The deckheads are coming in right now. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. But too bad because we're leaving. But thank you anyway for doing that. They show up in the last.
You see Fred's comment about your short shorts?
No.
The world wants to know.
Who supplies Rob with the short shorts? The world wants to know. That is Fabletics shirt, sir. You can get you some. There's a store in the Galleria. They got all different kinds of colors, Fred or Frank. Should I call him Frank? Forever Frank Robles.
Frank Robles.
They were BBQ Austin was highlighting, or they were thanking people, and they thanked the president of CBA, Mr. Frank Robles. So he is
Big
forever Frank. All right, over to the Champions Barbecue Alliance. The Billy Leo Foundation grand champion was Los Yavelio Grillers and Drinkers. I'm probably saying that wrong, but that's an odd name. RGC was SPG's Deep South Barbecue. Over in Concan, the Freedom Fest, the grand champion was Belly Up Barbecue. The RGC was Los Primos Cookers. They were a big contestant in that Galveston County Fair cook-off. And over in San Antonio, the Texas Trophy Hunters Association, Bucks and Barbecue. There she is. The grand champion was Frank. Frank is the new president, that's for sure. The grand champion was Tom and Belle Clark from JC's Good Old Boys, coming off a back-to-back GCs. And the RGC was Drop It Like It's Hot. And over in BBQ Austin, this guy was the grand champion right there. Bill Purvis from Chicken Fried Barbecue. And the RGC was this guy, Eddy Morales from the Pitfather Barbecue. Congratulations, boys. That was a fine showing. And again, guys, I'm sorry. I do not have all of the results, but I'm going to look them up real quick and only in the IBCA because we need to get out of here. Because Bill's got to go to sleep.
Did Bo Daniels win one this weekend? I think maybe he's on a bit of a heater as well.
Find out. Yes, over at the annual Burning Meat Barbecue Cook-Off. Aren't they all a Burning Meat Barbecue contest? 34 teams made it out there. Bo Daniel, totally Bodacious Barbecue. Raul Gonzalez was the RGC, and he's RG3 Smokers. And then they also had another event in San Angelo, Texas. My family is from San Angelo, Texas. My father was born there. So I used to go there all the time in the back of a station wagon with my He-Mans driving to San Angelo for about 8 hours. That's, another story. Kevin Ebling from Smokin' Stash. Congratulations, Kevin. Jorge Flores from CSM Cooking was the RGC. Kevin was the GC. Okay. Bill, I think we're about to wrap this up and get out of here, my man.
Are we done, Ski, almost?
What's that?
Done?
We're pretty much done.
No, I said, are we done? Man, I want to say, give a shout out to Bo. He's hit 3 in a row. Like, I think he's gone GC, RGC, GC. So
that's pretty solid.
And his
son was
his son won Houston. Yeah.
Houston, yes. Congratulations, Brody. He won Houston, and Carly was second. And I'm not sure of the young man that was third at Houston. And we already mentioned the BBQ Austin guys. So where's everyone cooking this weekend? I am taking 3 weeks off, Bill. Bill is
I
probably.
am taking no weekends off.
Where are you going to be this weekend, my man?
I think I'm going to be at Stockdale. I think I'm going to go to Stockdale, Texas. I think it's Stockdale.
Thank
It's
you,
an
Bell.
IBCA. So
Bell will be definitely a special co-host, and she'll probably be more in the rotation than most. But what'd you think of this special co-host role, Bill?
I think it's great. So, I mean, obviously, man, I don't think anybody could replace Case, but to rotate it around and get different people in, man, I think it's good. So,
Get some different.
and I think Case should be in on that rotation as well. So,
Brian wants an after show. I still have whiskey. It's already 10 o'clock. And if I would have had started already, Drunk Rob would have definitely had an after show. But right now I am not. I am going to be having some crawfish this weekend at Hans Crawfish out in Tomball. So, Bill, sorry you can't join me out there, but that's the place to go if you're in the Houston area. That is.
I'm going to be hanging out with Bo this weekend and see if I can't learn a trick or two, so see if he can teach me something, so.
All right. Well, so we were 2 hours in. I think we maxed out at like 86 people out there. So thank you guys for tuning in. The Gooder Gang is all about supporting this show. Thank you very much for everybody that is still tuning in. Thank you so much. 2 hours and 10 minutes later. We normally do about an hour and 15-minute show, but we had such a big guest lineup that we want to do it. So shout out to Bill Purvis as my special co-host. And we also had Eddy Morales as our first hour guest. Where are we at? Here we go. Got to do this real quick. Sorry. Let's get the music in. There we go. Thank you to Bill Purvis. Thank you, Sean. Co-host duties tonight and grand champion of the BBQ Austin Rodeo, grand champion of the San Antonio Rodeo.
I just need another rodeo. I need another rodeo. There's no rodeos this
Humble's
week.
Gone. Houston, we just talked about it.
No more rodeos.
We need more rodeos. That was pretty awesome.
We need more
Anyone want to
rodeos.
spot it? To the San Hey, Tony, if you're offering a spot, you can have a lot of people hitting you up for that thing for sure. Shout out to Eddy Morales with Pitfather Barbecue, RGC this year, GC last year at BBQ Austin. Brian Keene, champion HLSR Open winner. Congratulations, Brian. We had Chris Hatcher, champion ribs winner this year. Justin West, champions rib winner last year. And 2 walks this year at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this show. I don't have a guest lined up yet for next week, but I will have somebody lined up, and it'll be special. You know why, Bill? Because maybe I'll call Bill back. Just kidding. Bill, you're doing the circuit, buddy. You're doing it all. I want to give a shout out to these guys. Tony, thanks for sticking around. Alex Villanueva, thanks for sticking around. Brian Keene, thanks for sticking around. And thanks for being on the show. Sean Trainer, Louis Gonzalez, Bell Clark. We got James Minotti, Vanessa Alexinas, and Chuck. I saw your message, Vanessa. I will take care of that. So, all right. For Bill Purvis, I'm Robert Rocha, and we're signing out. We'll see you guys next week at 8 o'clock on Wednesday on the So Smokin' Gooder Show. We are out.
Peace. Thanks, Rob.